Career started in investment banking. Fast forward to being a social worker now, it's a brilliant profession. And that opens so much opportunities for you. I try to motivate them, it's going to be a tough career for you. I tell you 2 years will be miserable and all that. Because it's not expensive now. So it's 2 years, a 2-year course now. When I did it was 16 grand per year. So who wants to commit 16,000 when you can do data analysis and drugs? Do you understand? But you need to have a support system where that can listen to what you have to say. If you don't, you probably just have a mental breakdown.
Life is a journey, and sometimes the path we choose leads us to unexpected places. From the bustling world of private banking in Nigeria to a desire to make a difference, to fulfill a greater purpose, now as a social care worker in the UK. Surely it wasn't an easy choice for Dolapo. The transition came with its own set of challenges, adapting to a new culture, learning new skills, and starting over in a completely different field, driven by the desire to serve others and mentor the younger generation.
I tell you, man, a young man without a father figure is a disaster waiting to happen. Later on in my career, I'll probably go back home and set up charities, to work with those set of people, because I think they are disadvantaged. But it took me approximately like 6 months to get a job. Yeah, it was discouraging knowing that I have what it takes, but I'm not just getting those jobs, yeah.
Now, as he looks towards retirement, Dolapo's long-term vision is even bigger. He dreams of setting up charity homes for the vulnerable, safer spaces where those in need can find support, care, and hope. This is a dream rooted in his lifelong commitment to service and his unwavering belief in the power of compassion.
99% of my work is talking to people, listening to people. Empathy is very key, and good communication skills also.
Now, Dolapo's journey in social care has been one of resilience and determination. He faced moments of doubt, but he never gave up. His passion for helping others and his belief in the power of mentorship kept him moving forward. Over time, he found fulfillment in ways he never imagined, touching lives, inspiring young people, and making a tangible impact in his community. This is the story of Dolapo on how I got here.
Career started in investment banking, where I had 7 years of experience in private banking, which I really enjoyed. It was not like normal commercial banking where you meet with a whole lot of people. Just was more like I would use the word person-centered investment. So because we are pitching to clients and all of that, prospective clients, I kind of enjoyed it. The fact that the most part I enjoyed about it was we were Friday nights. Organization would sponsor us to go into the clubs.
Wow.
I think it was then this club started in Nigeria. Is it Quilox?
Yeah.
Then we went to ARM.
Okay.
That was also an investment organization also. There I went into another industry owned by Sarah Energy.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Worked in Ikeja Electric. Brilliant organization, just because it was bought over by Sarah Energy, Sarah Group. So it's they kind of like, bring it up to their own standard.
Yeah.
I worked in the energy audit team. I would say that was where I got my customer relations from, because I dealt with a lot of people, different background, language, and all of that. 99% of my work is talking to people, listening to people. Empathy is very key. Empathy and good communication skills also. Facial expressions, even if you don't want to listen, show them that you're listening. Keep eye contact, smiles on your face, all that. Before you know it, 2-3 visits, you already created a connection with them. But if you don't create a connection with someone, it's going to be hard for you to support the person. So empathy is very key. If you don't have it, you learn it on the job. Develop those skills, watch videos, listen to people. At some point I felt, where we're actually going to, what's my goal in life? All of that was all about money and all of that. But I needed more, to do more and all of that. I know we were talking earlier about my background in sociology.
Yeah, sociology.
Yeah. How did I get into sociology actually? I think someone told me about sociology and I was just interested. I already had the background of community work. Basically, because of my undergrad dissertation, it was more like community work, My dissertation, like I spoke about earlier, was more into juvenile delinquents. So that was where I did my dissertation. I developed love for, that part of interaction with those people. You know, I always go there, have interviews with them. I was very lucky that I was given access to a couple of them. Later on in my career, or maybe if I end up hanging on my boots in social work, probably go back home and set up charities, you know, to work with those set of people. Because I think they are disadvantaged back home in Nigeria. And from there, I developed that, you know, talking to people, you know, having to know what led, you know, to you being here and all of that. As a professional, you need to have empathy. That's core for you. Because if you don't have empathy to impact your, you know, people you're working with, if you don't have it, you don't have it, which will reflect on your clients. Your clients, they're able to sense if you don't have empathy. Even if you talk it and you don't express it, they're able to pick those bits of it, and I'm sure there won't be a connection. Okay, someone actually, you know, mentioned to me, I want to do social work. Social work, okay, not bad. My background is in sociology, human communication, understanding people. Yeah, I went for it. Fast forward to being a social worker now, it's a brilliant profession. And that opens so much opportunities for you. It's an open door to so many things. You could be a social worker in criminal justice, social worker working with, you know, people with cognitive impairment, older people, dementia and all of that. It opens the door for you to be in counseling. But you need to have a degree in social work to start with, either an undergraduate or master's. When you have that, your doors are open onto you, as in you have so many opportunities, so many things to divert into. I don't know if this last anybody did social work with. Because it's not expensive now. Social work is 2 years, it's a 2-year course now. It's 16, I think it's 16, when I did it was 16 grand per year.
Jesus.
So I don't know, so who wants to commit 16,000 when you can do data analysis and do all this? Do you understand? It's rewarding. For me, it's not the monetary aspect of it. I always tell people, like I said, you know, I get to talk, I have a group of social work students that I wouldn't say mentor, but, you know, I try to motivate them. It's going to be a tough career for you. I tell you 2 years will be miserable and all that. But you need to have a support system where you know, that can listen to what you have to say. If you don't, you probably just have a mental breakdown. And I asked them something: if you ever feel tired or frustrated, ask yourself, why am I here? It's your why that keeps you going on. If it's for the money, I'm telling you, frustrated in 2 years. But it's a why. Why? There's so many people in the community. Like, I do volunteer. You know, this is just, I'm not being paid for it. Volunteer in the community sometimes, you know, in Glasgow, to chat with people, young kids, to mentor them. You know, it was organized by Glasgow City Council anyway. You know, talk to them, you know, about life. That just, you know, like, be a role model to them. I'm reaching into counseling, which is also very good. Like I said, being a social worker, it doesn't end like that. You can always break into different areas: counseling, psychodynamic counseling, cognitive therapists, and all of that. You know, so for me, that's something, you know, being able to influence people positively, it goes a long way. You know, for some of them, you know, they don't have that parental guidance, probably from a dysfunctional home, and they're looking for someone to, you know, talk to about life. You know, most of them don't have a father figure and all that. So, and I tell you, man, a young man without a father figure is a disaster waiting to happen and all that. So, you know, for me, it was just being able to mentor people, tell them about life and all that, channel them in the right direction you go through. You know, like your parents are from, you know, dysfunctional from family, even when they grow up used to substance abuse, addiction and all of that. There's 90% chance that you end up being that same person. But if there's an intervention between who you are, you know, have someone to, you know, to tell you, you know, this is okay, that's not the way of life. It may look good for you, but, you know, there's always a better way to live in life. And so for me, I just felt like that's social work for you. You need to be able to step into people's lives, you know, tell them the right direction, how to go about life and all that. It's not easy. Challenges. Well, I wouldn't say that there are actually challenges. I mean, I see, you know, those obstacles as learning curves. You know, I kind of learn from negativities, because if I try to do this and it's not working, probably tell myself, no, you're probably doing the wrong thing.
Now, Dolapo's story is a reminder that it's never too late to follow your heart, to embrace change, and to make a difference. From private banking to social care, and now to a future of charity work. Dolapo's journey is a testament to the power of purpose and the impact one person can have on the world.
Even when I had a degree, social work, I felt it was going to be easy sliding into the profession and all that, but it took me probably like 6 months to get a job in like a proper, social work job. But it was quite challenging to get a place just because of what I wanted to work with. While I was applying, I was also developing myself really more. I did some actually voluntary jobs in that area. Working with people with learning disabilities. I worked with a couple of organizations here in Sterling. I'm saying this because most people feel, I have a degree and all that. It has to be that particular. While I was waiting for that position, I was working support. I was doing voluntary work. Yeah, it was discouraging knowing that I have what it takes, but I'm not just getting those jobs. Yeah, hard work and God's grace, and also help. Family also helped. Honestly, if I was not here with my family, it would have been a whole lot of, very much difficult. Because having that support network around you goes a long way, in your career also. Because sometimes you come back from a day's job, you're so traumatized. There's so much things, you want to talk to people about how your day has been. Because you need to offload, all right? Because there's a difference between being a social care worker and a social worker. A social worker is someone that they call them qualified worker, meaning that there's some things you can do that a social care officer cannot do. I do assessments, all right? An assessment takes a process. I can do an assessment with you for up to 2 months. That process is being able to understand who you are, look at the trauma you've gone through, look at your background, and with all of that, I do a summary of my assessment. Then I can know the kind of support you need, all right? But for a social care officer or a support worker, all you're there is just support them, in doing, being able to achieve their daily tasks. But you don't understand who that person is. But for a social worker, I understand you. I'm able to, like for instance, a social worker, I will do my assessment and I will now call a social care worker or a support worker. Okay, this is my assessment. This is what I've done. I need you to support this person in this area of life in achieving a daily, tasks. All right, I've done all the old background work. I've done the assessment and all of that, but I now give you to go and support this person in achieving their life tasks. You get? So that's basically the difference. We kind of like sit down, understand the person, just like a doctor, a GP, go to a doctor, GP understands you and give you medication, all right? And the support worker is the one that will take you from there and administer those medications to you. But I've done the whole background job of doing the assessment, understanding you, putting theories together, assessments together to understand who you are.
Well, because sometimes the greatest rewards come from giving back. And that's all I have for you guys on this particular episode of How I Got Here. We've been 10 episodes deep, where we've been sharing stories that inspire, educate, and inform. Do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, like our video, share our video, and drop your thoughts in the comment section. And definitely on to the next very episode. Do not forget to stay safe. Have a good one, guys. Cheers.